Ahoy there! Welcome to Off-Grid Bound. If you are following our channel, you may have been wondering what happened since we haven't had a video out in over 2 months now. I've been spending every moment I could working on the cabin, and over the summer I have also been taking an online course in drone mapping, and I haven't had the time that I wish I had to edit all the videos. But I have recorded a lot of material and videos are coming, I promise. And since there have been so many changes both inside the cabin and around the property, I thought this video can be a little bit different. I would like to invite you for a tour of our property to see all the changes that have happened and where we are headed, and enjoy some summertime with me. This is where it really all began, building our campsite right on the shore of this beautiful lake. We cleared this, oh god, it's almost, I guess, 3 years ago. And we built a little deck and a shed to store our lakeside stuff and our tools. And of course, a lot has changed since then. This is also where we camped a few nights back in the day when the motorhome was not available, and we spent some cold nights here. So really, our walkthrough starts right here. It's uphill all the way. Let's go! Our first stop is right at this deck. This one is new. The original one was having hard time surviving. In winter, water comes to about this level, which on the old deck was about this much under the deck level. So not only it was a little flimsy, but also it was every winter subject to potential flooding. So we just built a new deck and moved the shed over there. There is a whole video about that. You don't want to miss that one. This deck has a fantastic view of the lake, and I just can't wait to put some patio furniture here and have some relaxing times. Inside the shed here we have a propane powered fridge that we still need to get going, and a little private space right there, so that whoever is enjoying the time here at the lake doesn't have to go too far. Let's keep going. This is our gazebo that has served many purposes over the time. Here what we will have is a nice little resting area for rainy days with propane fire pit. It's really lovely in here when the weather is not as nice as today. Going into the cabin right now would be a little bit of spoiler, but I encourage you to come back and watch the videos on all the progress. So we will skip the cabin and just keep going. Almost all the stuff that was inside is now in this temporary structure. Well, it's a tent, so that we have some room to do final work. And we are continuing our uphill trip to the upper part of the property. This is another one of the origin places. When we first purchased this property, all this wasn't there, obviously. Just the road was a little bit widened. I think it ended somewhere here. And so when I first brought the tractor, I cleared a little bit of extra space and we built a storage shed, which unfortunately didn't last even a single winter. And once again, there was a video about it that you may want to watch. Since then, we have opened this area more. We exposed some of this beautiful rock right here. And I absolutely love these rocks. And the idea is that this is going to be our work, play area with a little workshop and some place for games and so on. One of these days. Let's take the trail of last breath. It's a little bit steep, but a nice shortcut to our other location that we call Bearstone. This is what I named in one of my previous videos, the Trail of Last Breath, and it caught on. Even our neighbors use it now, and as we are getting younger and stronger, this is only going to get easier in some parallel universe. Whew. Sucker for rocks, that's for sure. Our last location, what we call the Cove, also used to have our campsite. That has now been moved up here. And if you have been following our channel, this was all forest. But we decided that our original plans to build a bigger house down there just couldn't happen. There is not enough room there. So we eventually identified this as the area for a future home. See, we have a drop-off right there that I can't really see much into with the camera. It drops off, but this area here is quite flat. So if we clear this area, it actually seems to be going a little bit up. Should I try to go there?
Sure, don't kill yourself.
Okay. I went in, bushwhacked through the forest, put some ribbons in, and then Larry did all the work. It's now a nice open area so that when we get around to building a house, a proper house, it will be all here. Until that time, it's all like the sawmill operation. We have some lumber that we milled a long time ago. And here is the motorhome. We built this rack based on inspiration from Michigos, Michelle, whatever her last name is, who lives somewhere in the interior BC. In one of her videos, she was showing a rack to store wood and cut it for firewood. So we took inspiration from that, changed the design a little bit, and I have a short clip showing how it works. It's really efficient, goes really fast. And now we can continue to our next little spot, and that's our future maintenance yard. Let's go. This is what we call the clearing, and this is where we eventually will move the sawmill operation. And here is a little area that once we build the house, we'll have a septic field. The house will be just over there in that clearing behind those trees. This is all in the future. And seeing the progress we've had with the cabin, I would say it's at least 3 years away. But we'll see. We take it one step at a time. There is some recently cut trees, and they smells so beautiful. In a few moments, you will see that we are doing something to replant and replenish the forest. A lot of these trees really are not healthy. There is some fungus there. A lot of them are dry all the way to the top. One of the things that I would like to do, if I have the energy, is to start thinning some of that, take some of the smaller trees out, and open the forest to more sunlight, which is more natural the way the Pacific Northwest is or was before people. After taking a short stop here at the clearing, we continue our tour to the upper part of the property that will remain largely undeveloped and wild the way it is, except for some small changes that we'll talk about soon. We are on another little trail that we asked Larry to cut through the forest, just so we have some access to this part of the property. There is this beautiful wetland that will remain wild. There are birds and frogs, reptilians. We have seen salamanders around here. So that is the part of our property that we definitely don't want to touch in any way. And here is the meadow. And the meadow is remnants of a logging operation that occurred here way before we purchased the property. Cindy, leave it. Hey! Hey, leave it! Let's go. Well, that was a little unplanned and unintended encounter. I kind of count on the wildlife to know of our presence, especially if I'm talking and if the dog is here, but apparently not always. I keep forgetting the name of this bird. I know the name, I just keep forgetting. This is what was meant to be a little garden. We planted some trees here that are growing nicely, except for some. But as you can see, fireweed is already establishing itself. It's a beautiful flower. I absolutely love them. So we will leave them be. But because of the prior logging operation, there are a lot of logs and branches and that sort of thing, basically debris over there. So it's impossible to use the meadow in any way. Because fireweed is such a prolific plant, I don't feel too bad about leveling this, because what you see here will be back the year following when we do some leveling work here. We also have some source of soil here, which is nice because we are going to need it. The meadow is a little detour from the main trail that you saw over there, so we'll go back to that area. There is a logging road that dissects our property, but our land continues past that. Right now there is no access directly from here. We have to go through another property to get to what we call the Angel Spring. The property is almost 700 meters long and it's like 11 acres. So there is quite a nice chunk of land, and I think we have more work than we asked for. Here we are at the upper part of our property, which is almost 100 meters above the lake. We don't come here very often, and it's one of the reasons why we just want to keep it wild. I recorded these clips last year in the summer, around the same time as now actually. And I'm still amazed at the beauty of this place and can't believe that it actually belongs to us. It's an amazing feeling. Well, this is it. Let's go back. On the return trip, I encountered some squirrel activity There are a lot of squirrels living in these woods. I hope it stays that way. And we are back at the cabin. That part we'll have to wait for another video. Thank you for watching. Until the next time, we are off grid bound.